I have to admit, I was interested in this episode of Raw for about 99% of it. Really enjoyable show. Some good talent has come back, and I mainly mean the women's division. I don't, I can't say I'm invested in Big Cass, but I'm interested to see what they're gonna do with him. But overall, the show was really, really good. And I had to get a conspiracy theory out the way first because Rey Mysterio talks to Roman at the end of the show, wanting to run something by him, and Rey's the manager of AAA. My conspiracy theory is that they're gonna have Roman show up to the Worlds Collide event that's kind of programming AEW All Out. That's my conspiracy theory. Either that, or they're gonna have him show up for the Triple Mania. Their Triple A's 2 night huge event. But there are a lot of good things in the show, and I really had really no expectations for this. But the show starts off with a Roman promo, 10 minutes of oral farming, and then LA Knight comes out, and basically LA Knight just challenges him. And Roman talks shit to him, like says he has a Walmart watch, and says like, "What have you done? How have you proven yourself? You ain't won no big matches or anything." LA calls him a fraud, and basically says, "I want what you gave Seth, 1-on-1, no one involved whenever you get the balls to accept." Now, I thought Oba was gonna come out, but they're doing a little something different with Oba, which I still like, but it definitely feels like we're gonna do whatever we can to not have Oba go against Roman yet. Which I get you probably want to do it for a bigger event, probably do that at WrestleMania. But I just have a feeling that things are gonna go awry or that we're not even gonna get to that point. So I wish we would just go ahead and have it happen. Because if anything, regardless of if they don't have Oba win against Roman, it's still good to have this kind of buzz and excitement around during quote a lull period well, I think it's just good to have something interesting outside of WrestleMania season. Because then once you do strike on Oba, he's hot versus us like waiting like months to get the storyline and progression that we were already expecting months ago. And there's a backstage segment where Roman is talking to the bloodline and tells Jacob that the bloodline is his only family. He don't know why he's hearing about Royce Keys, calls his name stupid. So yeah, I guess that's annoying him that like why is there somebody else being described to as your family? Roman's also annoyed about LA Knight. And I think it's Jimmy that's like, hey man, just let us know. We could take care of him. He's like, no, y'all had y'all chance to take care of him. Don't touch him. He's mine. And then, of course, immediately after Roman leaves frame, LA Knight comes out. He's like, oh, I heard nobody could touch me. And then Jay kind of pump fakes at him. And he's like, hey, you don't want to make your dad mad, do you? And I thought LA Knight was going to come out at the end of the main event to kind of cause more issues. Like LA Knight was going to come out, save Royce Keys, and then obviously Jacob was going to have to put hands on him. And then that was going to cause issues with Roman. He's like, bro, I told you not to touch him, but that didn't happen. So now we'll talk about the most exciting thing, or the thing that I'm most excited for. So Soul and Roxanne have a match, but ends in a DQ. Now I hate DQs. I think I said in the other video, a match that ends in a DQ is like watching fake sparring, and it's stupid. And honestly, the DQ wasn't really necessary for what led to for what happened after the DQ. As the Judgment Day girls jump Soul, then Becky Lynch comes back. Becky Lynch comes, they stop hitting her, they stop hitting Soul. And then Becky and Liv have a promo against each other, and she says that she doesn't want the IC title anymore. She wants the world title. And basically, she hits all the points that people have been criticizing Liv Morgan for. But I would say Liv Morgan and also just like the booking of her in general, her only having one title defense in 100 days, and basically saying like you're not the best women's champion, and goes on to like further insult her later on in the promo, saying you're not the best women's champion in your group, and you're not the best one that's been with Dom. So as Liv and Raquel and Roxanne are walking up the ramp, Stephanie Vaquer's music hits. She's back. She tussles with them, and then after Stephanie gets Liv out of the ring, Becky and Vaquer stare down. And now the interesting thing is that we were all saying like, why hasn't she defended it yet? And now that both Becky and Vaquer are back, I think it's more of an issue that there wasn't enough star power in the main event scene for Liv to go up against. And I would say, because really there was only Io, right? And for any of the title fences to feel believable in the sense that there's a chance that that Liv could lose, it would have to be one of these three women, right? Because I don't think there's another woman on the roster that's a face, really. Outside of Io, I don't think there's another one outside of Soul. I say that like I just forgot the girl that was in the match originally. Yeah, outside of Soul and Io, I don't know who else is a face. That's a woman on Raw. There's quite a bit of heels, so Becky and Stephanie are definitely needed. I was expecting maybe one of them to come back soon-ish. Wasn't expecting both of them. And it is a bit of a cheat code when you have multiple wrestlers coming back, just in terms of like improvement. I wouldn't say improvement, but just quality of the show because of the surprise returns. But this was definitely needed. Oba cuts a promo, and his promo summed up is that Brock Lesnar passed on the torch, and he's going to be the leader of the younger generation of wrestlers coming in. That's basically what the promo was. And I thought it was pretty interesting to just outright plainly state that he got the torch passed to him. Like just like saying just like literally saying it instead of it like being known but like not explained, I guess. Like they showed it to us and then also Brock literally said it. But then having Oba say it is just like further reinforcement, which we can hit it on the head, but I didn't really think it was super necessary. I think Brock doing it was enough, but it was good to emphasize his point. And as Oba is leaving, the Vision comes out, and Braun Breaker is staring Oba down to like an egregious extent. Like like as soon as Braun came out, he was fixated on Oba, and when they do their close stare down, he's shaking. Braun's shaking, and not in a sense of like being scared, but seeming like he's just like trying to hold his energy in from attacking Oba. And they really nailed this in because Braun has a match against Joe Hendry, and they ring the bell, and it feels like we spent at least like I'm probably exaggerating, but it's like 2 to 3 minutes of Braun just still staring at the ramp. like not even turning around. Like it genuinely takes a sec for him to finally turn around. He just clotheslines Hendry. And there's really only like one sequence, let's say two in this whole match. Braun throws Hendry out of the ring, and then he goes back to staring at the entrance ramp. And then Joe Hendry beats up on Austin Theory a little bit, throws him over the announce table. Braun is like running from the other side of the ring, trying to spear him. Joe Hendry jumps over him. Braun hits the steel steps. Now I got worried here because I'm like, are we gonna have him lose after he stared down Obafemi? But no. I forget what happens in between this, but Braun gets in the ring and Joe Hendry gets in the ring. As soon as Joe Hendry gets in the ring, gets hit with a spear. One, two, three. Then Braun again looks at the entranceway and just walks up, leaves immediately. Right? Does not care about trying to walk out with Theory and Maxine. And then Austin Theory beats down Joe Hendry and Tozawa comes out. So I'm sure next week we're gonna have Tozawa versus Theory. Now the follow up to this is interesting because Braun walks up to Paul, and I'm hoping and praying that he's not asking for wisdom or anything. 'Cause I didn't really like the vision, like trying to be like, "Hey, Paul, are you gonna be back with us?" Like y'all don't need him. Like just stay away from him. But Braun asks Paul Heyman, "Where is Oba?" And Heyman's like, "Why would I know?" He's like, "Oh, I thought that was your new best friend," and he walks away. Now I think this is alluding to the fact that Paul Heyman always attaches himself to like young talent that's on the rise. So I don't know if it's because he saw Paul talking to Oba before, or if it's that Braun in the character knows how Paul Heyman moves. So he figured that with everything that Oba's done and what he said, that Paul Heyman would be doing whatever he can to attach himself to Oba. So that's why he just went up and asked him, like, "Hey, where is he?" Because Braun does like laugh a little bit, like when he says it. So it's like he's like, "I know you, bro. Like, I'm sure you know where he's at." Yeah, and then there was a street fight that I was really super invested into this match. I was like, "Oh, interesting," when it was like announced as the main event, but I really didn't watch it that much outside of the ending. So there's some cool spots in it. I like the Samoan drop into the table in the corner. Yeah, that's really it. Oh yeah, and Raquel's title has barbed wire around it, so that's cool. But yeah, I mean that's about it. I'm very surprised that I enjoyed Raw as much as I did. And again, it's probably the returns that helped a bit, but there was good story stuff that happened too. Like it just seemed like they started to care again. Like a switch was just flipped. And I'm excited for SmackDown to see what's gonna happen there and see if they can keep this momentum going.